This 96 GT is a rugged design for those that want a better platform and a lighter phone but are willing to trade battery life to get that. A more practical design than the S89 Pro, although it still has some of the same weaknesses. If we can ignore the gold paint on our review hardware, the Doogee S96 GT is one of the more elegant designs the Doogee has released. It's comfortable to handle even if it's on the heavy side, and the smooth underside allows for wireless charging. Where this design shines is through the MediaTek 9500C, a chip that delivers plenty of performance together with an effective GPU. This silicon can deliver up to 50% more performance than the G85 powered phones and puts the S96 GT within striking distance of the Snapdragon 480 phones, such as the AGM Glory G Zone. With that power combined with 8 GB of DDR4 RAM and 256 GB of flash storage, this gives this 96 GT a premium phone feel and plenty of computational grunt to exploit the excellent camera sensor selection. 5 camera sensors include a 48MP main rear sensor alongside supporting cameras for wide-angle, macro, and night vision modes. Even the front sensor is 32MP, providing the best quality selfies for those that can cope with that level of inspection. This is one of the few recent rugged designs that can capture 4K video on the rear sensor, and it even has a basic slow-motion video mode. While the cameras are great, they could be even more wonderful if Doogee would take the time to create a more impressive camera application to exploit this potential. Being less chunky than the Doogee S89 Pro has been achieved by reducing the battery capacity to only 6,350 mAh, though this does shave about 200 off. That's about half the battery capacity of the S89 Pro, making this 96 GT less suitable for that week away in the wilderness, away from a charger. The other issue that confronts this design is that it only offers 4G LTE and not 5G, a technology Chinese phone makers seem reluctant to embrace for numerous reasons. If you are willing to accept those limitations, this 96 GT isn't an expensive phone and represents excellent value. The cost of this phone varies massively depending on where you source it from. Purchasing it through Amazon.com appears to be one of the most expensive options at nearly $350. Direct from Doogee via AliExpress, the same phone can be had for only $250, including delivery, although it will take up to 30 days to get it. On AliExpress, the phone can be bought as we reviewed it, or it can come bundled with the Doogee 11 smartwatch for around $100 more. A third choice is the inclusion of a 65W charger that bumps the price by about $20. There are 3 versions of the phone configured for the mobile frequencies of different regions defined as Russian, EU, and other. For the asking price and specification, the cost of this 96 GT is very competitive and a realistic purchase for those not willing to take a valuable premium phone on a trip where water and dust might be an issue. This 96 GT follows a well-trodden path of using a milled block of aluminium and then cocooning the corners and ends in dense TPU protection. Compared with some other Doogee designs, this one feels a little narrower and easier to hold, but it's still a substantial weight at 560. And this is a very large phone that won't easily fit inside most pockets. This 96 GT comes in 3 color schemes that are orange, black, and gold. Our review phone was a gold one that looks, dare we say it, ostentatious. Thankfully, in all the versions, most of the phone is black, and that saves it from the visual excesses of orange and gold paint. As layouts go, this is more by the numbers design from Doogee, but with one curious exception. Most rugged phone makers have now standardized on a button layout that places the volume rockers and power button on the right and a user customizable button on the left. This 96 GT follows this model. But instead of making the power button also double as the fingerprint reader, here are 2 separate buttons. Not sure why Doogee did this, but it has 2 buttons where one would have sufficed. We should also mention that the placement of the fingerprint reader is great for right-handed users that can use a thumb for unlocking, but less helpful for left-handed owners, along with the custom button. The left side also mounts the SIM tray, one of those long varieties that can take dual nano SIM and a micro SD card for extra storage.